Today we're going to break down all the things I have on me whenever I leave the house. I used to only travel with a few things that fit in my pockets. My phone, my keys, my wallet, and maybe one or two other things. And as minimal and simplistic as this may be, it wasn't necessarily convenient. Oftentimes I'd find my keys, scratching my phone. There's things that I'd have to sacrifice and not take along because they don't fit in my pockets. I then found myself transitioning to carrying a backpack with me. And that would do one of two things. Either it would remain really light and have nothing inside it and feel like crazy overkill, or I'd find myself stuffing things in it, even though I don't necessarily need as much as I have because it's a big bag and now I don't want it to be empty. I think I've found a sweet spot for myself that has allowed me to have an everyday carry that is not sacrificing the few things that couldn't fit in my pockets, but also allows for me to add a few extra things that improve my life tenfold. To make this possible, I got this rather sizable sling bag. What I like about this is I can put it on my back, no issues, and if I want to access anything, I just quickly slide it around, zip, unzip, got access, and then once I got what I need, put it right back where it was and I continue with my life. Not much of an effort, so that's great. So one thing that's always in this bag is a lovely tiny little black notebook that my wife got me. She got it embroidered for me, so nice, and it is all black, which is definitely my vibe. Why I have this with me at all times is because I want to acknowledge all of the incredible moments that happen throughout my day, throughout the weeks, and whenever I do, I want to write it down. And so when I recognize those moments, I just jot them down. And if there's any time I also want to get perspective or really feel like I'm aware of my life and the good that comes from my life, I've got now a somewhat gratitude journal. It's not essential, it's not something I need every day, but even though I don't need it all the time, it provides so much value to my life, which has been great. So going out to eat is definitely a pastime for me, for sure. I love doing it as often as possible. And so whenever my wife and I are kind of just sitting around waiting, well, we'll have conversation. But alongside that, I've just got this little deck of cards in a little tin case. It's great because it can very easily pack away without wrinkling the thing. I now have a thing to play with all the time, and I use this literally. Even today we went for lunch impromptu and this was in the bag, and so whenever these moments come about, even if I'm not going to use them every day, having display this is because I'm trying to give you examples and ideas of how life can be tweaked just a little bit, and those little things can kind of accumulate to a much more satisfying life. The thing about living an intentional life is that it doesn't necessarily come automatically. It's not something that we just have built into us. It requires intention, and I'm not always intentional. And so making these one-time decisions to integrate things into my life has just been so helpful for everyday satisfaction and everyday mindfulness and everyday gratitude. By the way, if you're finding value in this, please give the like button a high five. Or a hug if you're more affectionate. I'm not sure if you guys have been to a restaurant and come across those cardboardy straws. I just do not enjoy drinking out of those things. They're the pits. And so what I've managed to do is I got myself a little portable straw, if you will. When I find myself in those situations, I just, pull it out, take the different pieces, put them together, screw it in like that, and there you go. You have a reusable straw good to go. I think this is a better option because it's keeping plastic straws from being constantly disposed of. It's just me, but I definitely think that this has been a really helpful thing for my ability to contribute towards the sustainability of the earth. I'm currently on a journey towards decreasing my environmental footprint. The world we live in is just so beautiful, and I want to do my part in protecting it and the wildlife that live in it as well. Another thing that happens is if I randomly want to go to the grocery store, just pick up a few things, grab the basket, go around, grab my things, and then get to the till and they ask me that question, would you like a plastic bag? I just like face palm every time because I have so many reusable bags. Now, fortunately, because of this bag, I just have these little bags ready to go. What's nice about them is they're light. It doesn't make my bag heavy at all. And because it's a decently sized bag, it doesn't feel chunky. It just slides right in there and you forget about it and life is good. An unexpected benefit I've found with becoming more sustainable is that I'm more mindful of the things that I consume and the waste that I create. That mindfulness has kind of translated into me just thinking in general about what is essential and what isn't. It's a win-win because on one side there's less plastic waste, and on the other side I have greater mental clarity on what's important to me and how I want to utilize my finances or my time. I got a lot of insight and inspiration from this woman named Catherine Kellogg. She has a book called 101 Ways to Go Zero Waste and also has a Skillshare course that you can find access to. I will link that down below if possible. From a phone point of view, I use the 7-year-old iPhone 8. This is one of those if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of things for me. Like most, it tells me where to go, pulls me down rabbit holes, and quietly controls my life. These days, I mostly use my phone to pay for things. I just tap when necessary, and if there's an additional thing, my phone cover has an extra card in here. I keep keys, car and house, because keys. Lip balm, which is one of the things I needed to consider sacrificing for the space in my pockets. The slim little case for my glasses, I can use it to swap out with my sunglasses. So I take these, I put them in here, and then get my sunglasses and put them on. Sadly, I don't have my sunglasses on me right now, but they would be in here if I did. Lens cloth, I like having easy access to it for my glasses, but also for my camera whenever I have that with me. Tiny little rechargeable earphones, an Anchor power bank. I think this is also like 6 years old. A cable so that if I ever need a charge, I have everything I need in one place. My goal isn't to encourage you guys to buy the things that I'm telling you about. It's more an exercise to think through what it would look like for you to have a intentional scenario where you have everything that you need for each day, and the things that would also bring additional value, not only what you need. While the things in my bag may not be the most minimalist setup ever, they make my life easy, they allow me to be more sustainable, and they bring genuine satisfaction to my life. That, for me, is what is so much more important than trying to decrease as much as possible. The goal is to keep what matters most nearby so that it can do what it needs to do. Now, having everything you need in a bag isn't enough to live a completely full life. So here's a video talking about 3 small changes you could make to live a more satisfying life.